Hi, this is John Rosenhead, Jerusalem psychotherapist. So this week we're going to discuss, in the Torah and Psychology post, we're going to discuss Chanukah. And Chanukah, as we know, is referred to as the festival of lights. And we have the candles and the lights of Chanukah. And I'd like to discuss what is the significance of this light. Because we know that the candles of Chanukah, as we light the candles throughout the week, is to bring light into our world again. And the light is this special light of the candles relating back to the Or HaGanuz, the hidden light at the time of Adam HaRishon in Gan Eden, the special light that was in the world and was then hidden after the Chet of Adam HaRishon. And it will come back into the world again at the times of Mashiach. And we have for a week, for this week of Chanukah, the 8 days of Chanukah, we have an experience which allows us to tap into this light, that we light the Chanukah candles every night, to bring back or to tap into and get an experience of what it will mean to have this light again. And we know that there's the idea of ma'at min ha'or doche harbe min ha'choshech. A little bit of light can push away, and can fight off the darkness. And this is the experience that we have during Chanukah, that we have these candles, these small little candles that we light on the menorah. And it gives us this focus to be able to concentrate on this little bit of light which can dispel the darkness that we are experiencing, and we have experienced for so many years now in the Golus. We have now an experience of Chanukah to allow us to concentrate and to focus and to give us direction. But the interesting idea, at least if we can look at it from a psychological perspective, just taking this idea of a little bit of light in the darkness, if we look at the research into perception, if we have a little bit of light, if you have a little bit of light in the darkness, it can give two different experiences in a way, sensory experiences. We can have as the idea of ma'at min ha'or doche harbe min ha'choshech. Sometimes when we light, we have a small light, it does actually focus our senses. It can give us something to look at, and despite the overwhelming sensory experience of darkness, of blindness, of feeling disoriented, of not knowing where to focus on, when you have this little bit of light, it gives us this focus on something small, on something so, in a sense, insignificant, but a little bit of light is all we need to be able to, amazingly actually, be able to give us just an ability to navigate where we are within the darkness. And this is what we are hoping for Chanukah. But the alternative is that there's an idea of apparent motion. That if you have suddenly, there's a little bit of light that shines in one place, and then immediately afterwards you have another light that shines nearby. You have two lights that are going off close to each other, one after the other within a dark space or a dark environment. It creates what's known in perception as apparent motion. It looks like there is a movement of lights, one light going off and then another light going off in close proximity to the other. And it seems that there is a light moving, and this is used in many ways to show how there's in a way it's an optical illusion of movement of this light, but really it's one light going off and then another light going off, and there's no movement at all. These lights are stationary. And this creates this optical illusion. There's a sense that there seems to be a movement. And if we look throughout history of these little, perhaps, lights that go off, it can either be the direction of Mashiach, focusing on where we are trying to go and to bring Mashiach back, but also there's been many false dawns, many lights that go off seemingly to show an apparent motion, that we are moving in the right direction, that Mashiach is coming closer, but really these lights are stationary. There's this optical illusion of movement, and we need to try to understand as we go on through history, through this Golus. We need to try to make sure that our senses, our spiritual senses, are focused on this little bit of light in the darkness to actually bring the Mashiach closer, and that there is real motion towards bringing an end to this Golus, rather than being distracted and actually being fooled sometimes by this apparent motion, these little lights that go off that actually they are distracting us. There's times where Obviously, in history, there's been false Mashiachs, which is this apparent optical illusion of Mashiach coming closer. And there's also been so many things that go on in our life, even in modern times, which distract us and give us maybe a sense of where we feel that there's a sense of purpose and meaning, but it's actually false. That we are tapping into things that are actually an optical illusion, and it's actually there to distract us, and it's not giving us the right focus within the darkness. So this is what we hopefully can try to tap into and understand on Chanukah, that we have this ma'at min ha'or doche harbe min ha'choshech, that we are trying to look at. When we say ela liratom bilvad, we are just looking at the lights. We want to try to make sure that we are looking at the lights in the right way to focus us, that we are not being distracted by this optical illusion of apparent motion. And hopefully Chanukah will be an authentic, real experience of fine-tuning our spiritual senses, our perception, to bring the Mashiach closer. Have a great Shabbos and Chanukah Sameach.